As of this moment during the competition, this is the bye week. Yay! However, we're at a point where we're at 36 people. We're gonna do the most people that we can within this competition who have actually done enough points to compete, as well as the big drop-offs of the season. But overall, that's how much I'm only gonna leeway for this. So with that said, I invited a little bit of help to help me out with the voiceovers this week, because I've got, one way or another, a bunch of bullshit that I'm probably not gonna get dealt with until probably to get this through on time. So with that said, my friend, take it away.
Thanks, Helv. It's awesome to get to do this Haters Guide mid-season video for USF. It was an honor to do the Week 4 video, and I had so much fun doing it. So hopefully this video will go about as well as that one did, although maybe a little bit shorter, but I cannot make any promises. Over 30 people have competed so far at least 1 week this season, and from people who've scored every week to people who have scored no weeks to those who have competed sporadically, there's a lot to discuss and a lot to go over. And it's interesting, really, because compared to last season where you had a lot of rookies getting into the top 12, getting points, making the playoffs, it feels like this year we haven't seen as much of that, but the competition has still been quite fierce, even with some of the veterans not competing all the time. So again, there's just a lot to discuss, and let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's start off with those who have yet to score points so far this season. 3 people have managed to compete every single week and have yet to score, those being Billy, Sea Dragon, and Helvetica, with Aurora competing 4 weeks and having not scored, Kingdom of Menorah having competed 3 weeks and not scored, and everybody else competing 1 to 2 weeks and having yet to score. Y'all need to fucking score, and if there's one person that needs to score the most, it's fucking Helvetica, because how in the hell do you go from making the playoffs last season to now being complete shit? Dude, some of us thought after last season that, you would continue to improve, and yet you have fallen back to being shit like you were before, and it's fucking disappointing. Get your fucking shit together, dude. Seriously, get your shit together, please. Fucking please. Like, actually make Vancouver proud for once, because Vancouver can't have fucking shit. Just ask the fucking Canucks.
It's official. You suck.
Of the 36 people who have competed this season, 22 have scored. 10 are on the outside looking in. And looking at this list, first and foremost, Melee, you have scored once, week 1, DNP'd twice, and haven't competed in 2 other weeks. You were in the playoffs last year. Buddy, get it together, please. Harmon, I told you after Tankful, you were running up on me, and I barely beat you for Tank Bowl in preseason. And I told you, you needed to take that momentum and get somewhere with it. And where's it gotten you? Only 2 placements, 5 points, and currently sitting in the 18th position. What in the hell? Come on, man. Get it the fuck together. Valor, you're in the same position as Melee. 2 DNPs, 2 did not compete, and a finishing position that earned you 4 points. Solid, but you're in 19th. You're behind Harmon, who's in 18th. Come on. You can do better. And Prism. Last season, you had everything go against you late in the year and in the playoffs, and yet you had a solidly deep playoff run. This season, you're currently 16th with 2 placements and 3 DNPs. If you want to make another playoff run, you've got to get it together. I know you have it in you to do it. The craziest thing is Kurzov's above majority of you with 1 placement, earning 8 points, 3 DNPs, and didn't compete last week in Nuke Week. And yet, above all of you, except for Bot Bash, is Birds, who's only competed in one fucking week and got 10 points out of it. What the hell? Like, Bird said he's not competing all that much this season, and yet could still make the playoffs with just a few good finishes. That's legit insane to me. But, with that all being said, there's still a chance. You still have time to get your shit together. But you gotta get it together quick. And now, it's time to discuss the top 12. Currently, let's get into it. Kicking things off, we have Magoat in the 12th spot. Magoat, you have not placed since week 2, and you didn't even compete in Nuke Week. Of everybody that's currently in the top 12 in points, you're the only person that did not compete in Nuke Week. Bruh. I don't know what to say other than get it together, please. Like, you have a playoff spot right now, and yet you might give it up before this even get that far. Come on. Get it together. In 11th, we have Steve from Latvia, who is the only person in the top 12 right now that didn't compete in week 1, but since competing since week 2, has DNP'd once and had 2 pretty damn good finishes after a 12th place finish in week 2. So, for you, I said back in week 4, you could eventually do what Lotlax did and become another international champion. The question is, are you willing to do that? I will say, though, props to you for having all 5 posts from last week featured in USF Sports Ball, with 4 of them, of course, being in the high-effort shit that didn't place. Who the fuck has ever done that before? 4 posts featured in that section and the post that placed you. That's insane. Congratulations. In 10th, the champion from 2 seasons ago, the runner-up from last year, who's fallen on some hard times, Red. You're actually technically tied for 9th, but you're in 10th because the guy in 9th has competed all 5 weeks and has placed in 4 of those 5 weeks. You have placed twice, DNP'd twice, and didn't compete in week 3. My guy, I understand that real life shit is getting in your way, and I get that. But you're lucky to be in a spot right now in the playoffs. But if you can't cram a little bit more USF in your life, with all the real life shit you got going on, you might miss out on the playoffs. Just saying, that's kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. So, get it together, man, because, having you in the playoffs is a good thing, whether you win or lose. Not having you in the playoffs? That might be one of the biggest surprises in USF history. Dear fucking God.
Dumbass!
As mentioned before, in the 9th spot and holding tiebreaker is Ben A. Ben A, coming off a suspension, has honestly surprised, I think, a lot of people in doing what they've been able to do. Placing in 4 out of the first 5 weeks, though you have tapered off a bit from a 13-point week 1 opener, you're still doing pretty good, and you look like you have a shot to really do something come playoff time. You just have to make sure not to choke it. Though it would be hilarious if the guy coming off suspension wins the whole fucking thing. I'm pretty sure that would make a lot of the other competitors shit their pants, so we'll see. Wrapping up in the number 8 spot with 44 points, an 18-point gap on the 9 spot, and very much surprised to be here, this guy right here. I will say it again, I did not have high expectations going into this season, so to have placed every single week, have 2 top 5 finishes, be in a solid playoff spot, entering the bye week, dude, if you told me this in and also 1 preseason tank bowl, I should add that. If you told me this before the season, I would have laughed at you. But hey, I'm proving myself wrong here. I have proven to myself that I am better than what I think I am. But I have to keep this up. I cannot let my guard down. I can't not place. I have to keep going. And hopefully, maybe, just maybe, I can pull a weak win out of my ass. Imagine if that happens. That'd be like Helv pulling a weak win out of his ass. Just complete surprise. Man can hope. Man can dream. Let's see. So, 7th place goes to Obsidian Crafter currently, and I have to say, you've been on kind of an arc. You started out getting 19 points in week 1, then 13, then 1, then 6, then 10. So, should we expect another dip, or are you going to continue to rise? You got to figure it out, man. Because this is going to end up impacting playoff position, and the higher you are, the better you should be. Who knows, really, but you got to get it together and limit those lower ranking finishes, because the people behind you will jump you if you don't. So, just saying. Unvet comes in the number 6 spot, and after 3 weeks of higher finishes, 16, 19, and 13 points, you've finished in the back half of the top 12 for the last 2 weeks. Not good. Especially coming off the season you had last year. Yes, you had a disappointing playoff finish, but you were one of the better competitors and got a weak win. So you're on the outside of the top 5, where 4 of the top 5 have weak wins, and the one that doesn't has plays really well most weeks. So you gotta figure something out. You've gotta pull back some of that magic from last season and get a weak win, if and hope to God that you'll be able to do well moving forward. You're not entirely far off, but you're 11 points back of 5th place, and the top 5 is really close, so figure it out. We have now reached the top 5 of the standings, and I want to illustrate how close things are. I said last entry that things are close, but put it to you this way. From 10th to 5th is within 10 points. From 2nd to 5th is within 5, and between 3rd and 5th is within 2. It is that goddamn close at the top, with 4 week winners because Fireball doubled up, and then WOLFIE, who hasn't won yet, but has done really well. So now, let's get into the top 5. In 5th, coming off a massive week win in which this individual broke the record for the most upvoted post in USF history, is Jing. And I have to echo what Red said in the sports ball video for week 5. If you put all your shit together, you can be champion. Legitimately, your theme song should be, if we had theme songs, should be My Time Is Now, John Cena's theme, because everybody else's time would be up if you got your shit together. But that's the key. Can you get your shit together? That is what you need to do. And if you don't, it's going to be another embarrassing playoff elimination and more what ifs. What if Jing get their shit together? Point blank. So get it together. In 4th, Fireball with the 2 wins. Now, by overall points, you're 4th, but if this were based off said wins, you would be in 1st. You didn't place in week 2. You had a 4-point finish in week 1, and then 13 points coming off of the back-to-back wins this past week. So you should be a little higher, but you're still in the top 5, and you still have the 2 wins, which is legit insane. I will echo what I said in week 4. You have done so much since you appeared in Nuke Week last season, and you could very well get a championship at some point. Maybe that's this season. Who knows? You just have to make sure not to flame out again. Yes, I'm gonna make that joke twice. Bite me. In third is your week 1 winner, Ty Roland. Ty, I've said it before and I will say it again. You have to win a championship soon. You've had a first place finish, a second place finish so far this season, and another top finish, but then you've had 2 finishes at the back of the top 12. So it's hurting you a little bit. You have got to avoid finishing in the back of the pack. And you've got to keep getting great finishes because you're behind somebody who doesn't even have a win right now, which is legit insane. And if Jing didn't do what they did in Nuke Week, that person would have a win. So get it together, man. Please, for the love of God, get it together. Because honest to God, if you don't win another championship, in a couple of seasons from now, depending on how long this competition lasts, you could legitimately get a Legacy of Failure video for USF. That would be insane. And I kind of want to see it, but not for you. So get it together, please. For the love of God, please. Coming up in the number 2 spot is WOLFIE with 2 second place finishes, a 19-point finish, so I believe that's third, and then he had an 8-point finish back in week 2, plus a DNP in week 3. You're looking pretty good again. And if last season's anything to go off of, you have a bunch of potential. Granted, your second place finish last week helped with the war that you started in the comments on your post, which I could get into that, but I'm not going to. For you, you're 5 points back of the top spot, which is hilarious because the guy in first didn't even compete in week 4. So you've got a bar to reach. Everybody has to. But if you can keep up some of your momentum, who knows? You could pull a championship out of your ass. And I think that'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. Also, congratulations on the Texas Rangers making the World Series. Hopefully they don't disappoint you. So, yeah. And coming in at number 1, the defending champion, the reigning, defending, undisputed USF champion of the world, it's Double Dan, who didn't even compete in week 4, yet has had a week win, a second place finish, and a third place finish in the last 4 weeks after just 10 points in week 1. So you've had a hell of a start to your season, and missing a week honestly is not hurting you. But you probably don't want to miss any more weeks the rest of the way. Granted, with how you've been finishing so far, if that's anything to go off of, we could very well see a repeat champion this year if everything goes in your favor. And for you, I think that'd be pretty freaking neat. So, can you do it? We'll see.
Yes, I'm wearing a different pair of headphones, sweater, and whatnot. It's a different day as of recording this. Anyways, thanks, Alan, for that. Hope to see you doing this again later, but right now, it's time to get to the last X out in first X out. Now, Alan did 2. However, I'm doing 3. So, I want to read what Alan has as his last 2, first 2. His last 2 is himself and Steve from Latvia, which isn't a bad call, but his first 2 out is Birds and Prism. I agree with Birds. Prism is an iffy at this point. Now, with that said, I'm got the last 3 in, because of what Fireball did. So the last 3 in is going to be Alan, Benet, shocker, and Steve. So 2 of them we kind of agree on. However, the first 3 out will be Birds, that one I agree with, Valor, and myself. I don't think I'm going to get in this year. And I really don't think it will be a good idea to press any buttons on that. But with that said, thank you guys for watching the Haters Guide to the bye week. We will see you again in 2 weeks, actually, for beautiful coverage of beautiful shitposting in action. We don't know what the themes are? Pay attention to the subreddit and our new social. And the socials on both our Instagram and the new one, and our Twitter. Damn it, I gotta do that joke. Worth it!